What's going on, guys? Kevin here to bring you a brand new video where today I am going to be reviewing a TV show that I've been watching lately. And that TV show is The Legend of Korra. And I have been reviewing most things on my Instagram page, Gimon Reviews, if you ever want to look it up. I will also drop a link in the description for that. I usually do reviews on there, but for this in particular, with it being so for this in particular, I felt like I really, in order to really like talk about everything, I feel like this is like the best place for that. Just with like how many like spoilers there are, and also since I don't really spoil stuff that I review on my Instagram page. Um, so yeah, that's why I decided to review it on here. So yeah, The Legend of Korra, kind of a problematic show that is an interesting continuation of the series of Avatar. I feel like if you're a fan of the show Avatar: The Last Airbender, this is like worth watching, but like a lot of things, it has some glaring issues. At least with this first season, which I'm going to be focusing on. I just finished the first season, so I'm going to be coming out with reviews for all of the seasons individually, just because there's a lot to cover with each of the things that happens. But yeah, so I'll go through like everything that happened. So at the beginning, we get the introduction of Korra. We already know that she's the Avatar. It's no secret, and she already knows firebending, waterbending, and earthbending, and she only needs to learn airbending. And for a little bit, she spent some time with Tenzin, learning airbending, doing some techniques, doing some stuff. She decides to live with him. I mean, prior to that, she had decided that, she wants to live with him in Republic City, where he lives, and where this like whole culture exists about like bending and non-bending. You got that whole thing going on. And yeah, she tries to learn airbending, and amidst that, she finds out about all of the, I guess, like, unjust and tension between bending and non bending communities. And this is where, like, I really, like, kind of got taken out of it a little bit, is just because it tries to get, like, not that, like, political things can't be good, but like I feel like in this sense it wasn't really done that well, where they get like too political when it comes to like equalists and like non-bending and benders and this whole like movement and like having a revolution and whatnot. Like that was kind of like an eye roll thing for me. Just that whole thing in general. So I wasn't like really huge on that, to be honest. But yeah, nonetheless, still interesting to see like these characters and how they develop and their history, and also even getting like some cool callbacks to the original series. Cool references to like Aang and Toph and all of them. And yeah, we meet Lin Beifong, who is Toph's daughter. So that's cool, and I like her character development specifically, like because she like kind of opens up to be like more of a helping hand to the group, as opposed to just being like closed off and I don't know, not wanting to do anything. I mean, it that can be a little overused, but I think it is done well with her character Lynn. After a while, we get the pro bending tournaments where Korra, finds herself competing in that, and I find all of that really cool. Like how like bending could be like a form of like entertainment, almost like a sport. Like I find that kind of interesting, and like you have to use like certain techniques to win. Um, the game format's really short because like you literally get knocked off and you lose, and then like you get knocked off again, then you lose the whole match. So like you could have like a match that lasts like 2 minutes for like the championship or something. Like in concept, that sounds a little like wrong, but like it's a cool thing overall, the way it plays out. And watching Korra, team with Mako and Bolin, they kind of like mesh together really well. I like their whole group vibe. At one point Bolin even says like, we're the new team Avatar, like, because like the old team Avatar was like Sokka, Katara, and Aang, and like this isn't as cool and amusing of a team, but it's kind of entertaining. I mean, you don't have quite as much good humor from them like Sokka did, and Katara's like great character, but still good. I mean, like you have the comic relief character, like Sokka and Bolin, and then you have the serious character who has to like open up, Mako, like Zuko. So like seems like they're kind of like just retreading on some of those character tropes a little bit, but I think they all like play off of each other really well, and I like seeing their developments and how they progress as characters and what they go through. Most of what they go through is actually really fun to watch. I enjoyed like all the different challenges they had to face, and then you have Asami with her corrupt father who is with the Equalists, who's like basically turned on her family because he wants to avenge their mother. I need vengeance, I need to kill this person, I need to kill the people who killed my mother. Like, yeah, okay, that doesn't sound familiar at all, does it? But and then you have the worst part of this whole series, and that's Amon. Amon, like, he had like an intimidating presence in the beginning, sure, but then like what they did with his character with like being Tarlok's brother and then being a bloodbender and then getting exposed and all of that is just, I did not like that at all. Like, I feel like it's a very like lackluster villain that you had with Amon. Like his like fighting styles are kind of cool. Like the way he like avoids all bending attacks and just like is like a chi blocker and whatnot. Like all the chi blocker fighters are kind of cool, and like the way he fights is cool. But like the backstory to his character is just, it's so dumb to me. And like all the stuff involving like his past and whatnot, like I can't. But Tarlok along with that is also pretty bad too. He turns out to be Amon's brother. Like, whoa. And he was like on the other side at first, and then he like turns against them kind of. So like, we get a good theme actually of like how even people on the supposed good side can be bad, because Tarlok was supposedly one of the councilmen and he was supposed to like help the Benders and like bring peace, bring balance, but instead he tried to basically get rid of or imprison all of the non-Benders. And that just shows like, you can have like both sides, causing divide in the world. Like, it's not always just one side that's causing the problem. The other side can be part of the problem too when it comes to like dividing a nation or, causing a rift in society. So I think when you think about that, it's kind of cool, but like otherwise it's pretty fucking dumb with like his whole like backstory with Amon and how they like reveal it and whatnot. Like the thing that really got to me the most is the fact that they wait until like towards the end of the season to like drop all this shit on you, like, whoa, oh my god, no way. Like, you find out all this stuff at the end. Like, you find out about General Iroh, who I think is just Zuko's voice actor, who turns out to be like, this guy who's trying to help save Republic City at the last minute. They could have definitely revealed him sooner, but they just chose not to. And then the fact that Amon is Tarlok's brother, that's like a dramatic end reveal. And then Korra losing her bending is like, okay, wow. And then like, surprise, surprise, she gets it back. I knew she would. So like, it seems like, you have all this like, just like story continuing and all this build up, and then in these last few episodes they're like, big surprise, big surprise, big surprise, rather than just introducing it to you earlier, which with things like that they definitely could have just like told you earlier. Like Amon being Tarlok's brother is the biggest like stupid thing to me, because like how do you not like tell us that? Like like how do you like keep us in the dark for this long until they finally talk to Tarlok and he's like, oh yeah, Amon's my brother. Like, what? Like, Tarlok has been like on this side the whole time and he's never said anything about this until now, when Bolin, Mako, and Korra all come to this attic where he's in prison. He's like, yeah, he's my brother. And then he like goes into this whole long ass story about his father being a shitty person and whatnot. I'm just like, oh god, why is it like that? But like, nonetheless, like, honestly, like, aside from like the shitty villains and the kind of like weird political theme going on, it was a pretty fun season, and I enjoyed the characters, most of them. Tenzin's pretty fun. He's a good mentor, good like role model for Korra to look up to. And then you have Bolin and Mako and Asami. They're all great supporting cast. And then you have Korra, who kind of just like shines in having her own personality, that I feel like she just does really well in bringing to the table. And I feel like if we just get like better plot, then like this show has good potential to be good. So I'm kind of like hopeful for the future, but hopefully it turns out well with these later seasons. The only thing that I will say, the last thing I will say is dumb, is in the final episode of this season, she loses her bending, which is just not a surprise. I predicted that. And then I was like, okay, she's going to get it back. Yeah, she is. But how she gets it back is very lazy and not very well explained or well thought out. She sees Aang and he lights up his eyes and he touches her forehead and he gives her her bending back. So like, okay, so how can Aang touch you if he's dead? And how does he do that? He can take away bending, but how does he give back bending? And like, why does he have this ability? Just because he's the Avatar? Like they try to like expand on this lore and try to like, go further down this rabbit hole of like spirit bending, but they don't take the time to like break it down or tell you how it all works. It's just like, oh yeah, this happened. This person got their bending back. Yay. And then now that Korra has her bending back, she can give other people their bending back too. She gives Lin her bending back. Like, yay, woohoo. Like, that's great, but like, how? Yeah. Either way, I thought it was a fun season. I mean, as far as a rating would go, like I have like I'm like very like mixed on it. I'm leaning towards like a high like 6 or like low 7. Um, I'm gonna give it a 7.1. I think I enjoyed it enough that it earned that 7. Like, but like man, because like if you rate something, I feel like if I rate something a 7, I can like actually really like it a lot and just have some major issues with it. But like some things in this show like really piss me off. But it was still fun overall. So yeah, I have to give it a 7.1 out of 10. So yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to see more reviews and future reviews of the next 3 seasons. And I'll see you guys in the next one.